My friend recently accused me of loving nothing and of not having a heart. She also fails to understand why I enjoy period literature, so today I'm effectively killing two birds with one stone by making a video about why I like Jane Austen and Dickens and the Brontes, etc. The official reason, the one that went on my personal statement when I applied to university, is that I find it interesting how books written 200 or 300 years ago often demonstrate some sort of deviance from societal norms. The Victorian era in particular is seen as so cold and rigid that it's really exciting for me to read novels by women who smash those preconceived notions of what women should be. I think the specific example I used was Helen Graham from The Tenant of Wildfell Hall by Anne Bronte, who is a total bamf and whom I will come back to later. There is a reason that specifically is what I wrote on my application to university, by the way. Even though it is completely true, it's the boring academic-style justification. I couldn't, for example, write about how it's one of my favourite things in the world that to make love essentially used to mean to flirt. This leads to certain awkward situations where, for example, a woman makes love to 6 men during one party, or my personal favourite from Emma by Jane Austen, where a character violently makes love in a carriage. For some reason, admissions administrators aren't too amused if you write about that little quirk of language. If you aren't into Victorian literature, then I'm also sorry to tell you that you are missing out on Dickensian surnames. Do you know why I read Martin Chuzzlewit? Well, it was partially because my mother recommended it to me after only having seen a mini-series of it herself, but also so that I could have the pleasure of saying Chuzzlewit on a regular basis. My other favourites include Charity Pecksniff, Canon Crisparkle, Pleasant Riderhood, and Luke Honeythunder. True, I haven't yet read The Mystery of Edwin Drood or Our Mutual Friend, but there is my incentive. What you're also missing out on is some incredible female characters. Not necessarily written by Dickens, but try some female authors from the 1700s or 1800s. This is where I come back to talking about The Tenant of Wildfell Hall, because Helen Graham is an independent-minded woman who refuses to be the nice, passive wife and mother her husband expects her to be, while also not having any time for men who believe they're in the friend zone. In fact, she has one of my favourite lines that has ever been published. "For all the good you ever did me or ever wished to do, I most sincerely thank you. For all the evil you have done me, and all you would have done, I pray to God to pardon you and make you of a better mind." That is basically the most elegant fuck you I have ever heard. And I also feel the need to put in a special word for Lydia Bennet from Pride and Prejudice because she is such an underrated character. Yes, she's vain, yes, she's indelicate, but she's confident and she goes after what she wants, and more importantly, Jane Austen doesn't punish her for it. I've actually appointed myself head of the Lydia Bennet Defence League if anyone wants to join me. One of the greatest appeals of period literature for me, though, is that feeling which is so well summed up in one scene of The History Boys by Alan Bennett. Two characters are discussing a poem by Thomas Hardy, and one of them says, "The best moments in reading are where you come across something, a thought, a feeling, a way of looking at things, which you had thought special and particular to you. Now here it is, set down by someone else, a person you have never met, someone even who is long dead, and it is as if a hand has come out and taken yours." And that's it. The fact that long after a person has died, we can still feel a connection to them through the characters that they have written and the story that they've created. And I don't pretend to be an expert on 18th and 19th century literature, and God knows I don't enjoy every book I read. I love Charlotte Bronte, but Shirley was a truly painful experience. But to know that in your thoughts and feelings and experiences you have never really been alone, isn't that why everyone reads? Anyway, thanks for watching and I'll see you guys soon.